Hi everyone, and welcome today to my presentation and walk around video of this 2012 Toyota Corolla. My name is Nathan. Thanks for looking, thanks for joining. I'm going to show you this car inside and out under the hood and make a separate video like I like to do of me driving the car. This is a 2012 LE Corolla. Doesn't get much better than this as far as economy, simplicity, safety, reliability, and of course, what everybody knows a Corolla to have, fantastic fuel mileage. Excellent fuel mileage from these cars. They take cheap gas, don't need to buy any premium gas. This car is in fantastic condition. Take note of how nice and clear the headlights are here in the front. This car's been well cared for. It's never had a front license plate installed, so the dimples on the bumper are still there and they haven't been drilled, which is fantastic. Keeps the front bumper looking nice and clean. The paint and body are in excellent shape for the mileage and the age. Has 183,000 miles. You can see how clean and straight the sides are. There's no door dings or damages of any kind. A few little spots that I've had touched up, the paint touched up, I can show you here, but not many at all. This side just as clean. Paint sparkles and shines very nicely. A clean history on this car and only 2 owners. Another positive, not many owners on this car, and the most recent owner had the car since 65,000 miles in 2015 until current. So long-term ownership with the most recent. Also lots of service maintenance and records with the most recent owner from then until now. And then just here currently, it was just inspected at a local shop, and namely Grismer Auto Service. Grismer changed the oil, which this car actually takes full synthetic oil, so it costs a little more to change, but it lasts longer. So full synthetic oil change was done there. New cabin air filter, and a brand new interstate battery was installed. So brand new interstate battery, a full synthetic oil change, a new cabin filter. They inspected the rest of the car, didn't find anything else that was needed at this time. I mean, it's running right now, you can hear it, barely hear it running. The tires have 10 30-seconds tread. These tires were just installed not too long ago, so these are literally still just as good as new. Goodyear is the brand. Size is right there. 205 55 16. Again, literally like new. They're 10 30-seconds front and rear, so they're as good as new. The hubcaps have a few marks, as you can see on this one. Each of them have a few marks from scuffs and curb things. Brakes on the car have 8 millimeters in the front and the back once again. So when brakes start out new, they start out at about 10, just like tires. So for rough math, every one that's gone is about 10%. So here's the rear tires. So 8 millimeters on the brakes is equivalent to about 80% of life remaining. So the tires are as good as new. The brakes have 80% front and rear. This car shouldn't need anything for quite some time, and there is absolutely no reason, based on other comparables and how these cars operate and run and go. I like to say, just like the Energizer Bunny, there's no reason this car can't be driven another minimum of another 100,000 miles with very little maintenance costs. That's the beauty of these cars. Another beauty on top of, you can see a few scuffs on this hubcap wheel cover here. That's the beauty of these cars. Excellent fuel mileage, but very reliable, very low cost of ownership, and very low maintenance costs. It's a win-win-win if you're a person that is all about economy and simplicity and literally enjoys your car to get you from point A to point B safely and reliably. This is the answer right here. If you need to show off and need something that goes fast and screams and makes a lot of noise, well, then this probably isn't the answer for you. This is a really safe car, in my opinion. for a first-time driver as well, because it's manageable size, easy to see out of, easy to park, and then it has modern conveniences and safety features like side airbags all the way from the front to the back. It has traction control, it has anti-lock brakes, just, you know, everything that any parent would want their child to have. Let's take a look under the hood real quick, and then we'll look over the interior. But the interior is just as nice as the outside. Also has Bluetooth, which every young driver enjoys having Bluetooth. So here we are, super nice and clean. Here's the brand new interstate battery, which they also replaced this terminal end when they installed this battery, because the previous end was a little so went ahead and replaced it. There's the date code right there on it, and that is brand new. Some people do reconditioned batteries, and I'm not a fan of that. Listen to how quiet it is. Not a whole lot to see here, but cowl's nice and clean up here. Bottom side of the hood is clean. There's no rust or anything. Just nice all the way. Also, for a young driver, probably can't be seen very well. Let me try. It has Xenon lights installed, so they are much nicer than what the factory lights would have been, and they are much brighter at night. Hard to see right now with the sun, but maybe you can kind of see. It's hard. You can see a little bit of the color here. Anyway, they're much better, much brighter, more like, you know, modern cars in their, obviously, light discharge and lighting up the road ahead. So there's our engine compartment. Let me rev it up a little bit here. So I like to do that so you can hear it a little higher RPMs. Like I said, I'll be making a separate video of me driving the car on the city and in the freeway, so take a look for that on my channel as well. If you like what I do and how I do things so far, please subscribe, leave any comments that you'd like, and offer me any suggestions that you'd like, because after all, I am, in fact, as I've said recently on some videos, I am an amateur. I am self-taught on how I do things, but I think I do it well. But I'm always open for suggestion, and I am always kind of fine-tuning and fine-tweaking my methods. But I have developed them on my own and by myself, and that's that. So, but yes, leave me your comments and suggestions. I'd appreciate it. I like to hear them, and I like to read them, and more importantly, I like to hear how my videos may have helped someone in some way, and maybe educated you something about the car that you didn't know, maybe shown you a feature that you didn't know existed, maybe shown you in a way that you feel more confident when you go look for one yourself, you know, whatever it might be. Door panels, very nice, very clean, few tiny little scratches on this plastic piece, no big deal. Everything on this car works. All the windows, the locks, the horn, the cruise, the wipers, the washers, the air conditioning, everything works. There's nothing that doesn't work on this car. Air conditioning is actually freezing cold. It was just freezing me out before I started making the video. There's the bottom of the doors, nice and clean. Yes, very nice and very clean. Look how nice this driver's side seat is. I mean, of course, being cloth, it's going to hold up better than if it was leather probably, but the bolster's nice and firm, the bottom's nice and firm. Also, for a young driver, this is a lift, a pump up and down. I don't need it up because I'm kind of tall, but good adjustment for a young driver as well. It has all of the original floor mats, so all 4 floor mats. It has a spare key as well, so a second key. Here's the traction control off button, power mirrors, steering wheel, again, young driver to keep their eyes on the road. Volume controls and mode control for the stereo, you know, because for some young drivers that is the most important thing, but nonetheless it's good to have it on the steering wheel so that they don't have to take their eyes off the road. The steering wheel's in great shape. There's no wear across the top here. It's very nice. Here is the exact mileage right now. Door light, seatbelt light, of course, because the door's open and the seatbelt's not on. This little guy here, you can see your distance to empty, your average speed, timer, temperature outside, average miles per gallon, which isn't calculating because I just filled it up, I think, but it will when we drive it. Oh, maybe there's two different ones, I don't know. And then back to the range. So, in the center here, center console, this has a nice sized compartment right there. Couple cup holders, handbrake. This compartment here has an outlet, traditional outlet. There's a USB and an aux input right here, factory. Simple, easy to use climate control. Again, air conditioning works great. Factory radio, Bluetooth audio, every young driver's necessity. So there's Bluetooth audio. You need to pair your phone to make it work, which mine is not. And of course it has a radio, which a lot of young drivers don't know what that is. And a CD player, which a lot of young drivers might not know what that is. Nonetheless, I just turned the headlights back off, which brightened the clock. A nice digital clock, which I love a nice clock in a car. I like ones that have hands, like a traditional watch face like this, but you don't get that in a lot of cars anymore, but it's nice to have a clock. There's the dashboard. It's in great shape. This is actually still the original windshield. You can see the Toyota word on the front right there. Nice and clean. Here's the side airbags and the pillars, as you can see here. And then same thing all the way in the back. So side airbags all the way down the sides. The couple glove boxes, one there for your junk, one here is a traditional glove box. That's the original owner's manual, so a couple of those. Let's continue on and look in the trunk and in the back. I think that's everything I wanted to show up there. The headliner is nice and clean and tight. There's no issues with it. I always like to show that and talk about that just because, you know, some cars there can be, but this is good. This also has an LED light on the inside, so it's very bright at night, much better than the regular yellow lighting. So the rear seat is just as nice as the front. The mats are back here, so it has all four mats, all four floor mats. Backs of the seats are nice. Everything's nice. This is such a nice little car. So trunk has the Corolla mat. And then down here, spare tire, breaker bar, jack, tools, everything's here like it should be. You can see how clean this is. There's the factory seam sealer. That's that goopy stuff that looks like toothpaste right there. That's called seam sealer. You want to see that. You want to see it kind of look exactly like this does. If it doesn't look like that, it's probably an evidence of a car being hit or smashed in the back if that doesn't look kind of like that on most cars. So that's very nice and clean. There's the regular carpeting there, and then the mat right here. You can fold the rear seats down right here by pulling these levers. Excuse me. And then the seats will fold down. It's like a 60-40 split. You can see the split right there, so that you can put larger objects through the rear. So very nice, very clean. Sorry, the sun's getting us here. All right. Same thing here. fuzzball. And the passenger front seat, same way, very nice. There's a tiny little something here. I'm not sure what did that. Little tiny mark right there. Really minor. Car hasn't been smoked in. It's very clean. It smells nice. And there's that floor mat right there. So all 4 floor mats, the book, and then the key in the ignition plus another key. All right, so I've seen around the outside, all of the inside, the trunk, the spare tire area, the engine compartment. Heard the engine run, heard the engine rev up. Oh, I mentioned touch up. There's a couple little spots right here on the bumper that have been touched up right there. A little mark right here. I mean, real small stuff around this car. A few little spots here on the bumper from probably another car's license plate bolts tapping it. Right here, actually the back bumper had more little marks. There's a tiny little crack right here. It's not going to affect anything, probably from one of those impacts or something, but just a tiny little fracture. It's not even really a crack, it's just a fracture. But so there's that. But the front bumper, which generally takes more abuse than the rear, the front bumper is actually fantastic and has no marks, no issues, no spots that even needed touch up, I don't think. So very, very nice. I do appreciate your watching, and again, appreciate your views and any comments or suggestions. And like I say, I will probably take another walk around here as we conclude, but I'll make a separate video of me to drive the car, which I'll be doing right now. So it's a nice day. We'll take it for a nice drive, show you how nicely it drives, and talk about that. And we won't be watching the gas gauge move. That's a joke because it won't use any gas. Such little gas, such a great car. Superior reliability and a low cost of ownership and a proven brand. Everyone knows that Toyotas, Hondas are kind of the number 1 and 2, followed by Nissan, and I'd put Kia and Hyundai, even though they're trying real hard, I'd still put them below these guys. So these cars have been around longer, they're more proven, they've got more years behind them, and just a fantastic brand and a fantastic car. So thanks for watching. Again, I can't say enough about this little car. I just think it's a nice little car and a great car for the value. So I would highly recommend to anyone to purchase one of these. So thanks again for watching, and make it a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.